Louie Anderson.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm very attracted to Bryce Dallas Howard. She was
Louie.
just in here. Have you met her?
See that butt?
Oh, juicy.
There's an energy in the room.
Juicy.
Jim got all sexed up.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, he's all sexed up
I know
right
he
now.
side hugged me. He was hard as a rock. Right?
He was.
Side hugging me. He was hard as a rock.
That's incredible.
Working on his biceps. Right below his.
Well, welcome.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. How are
Now
you?
you
I'm
have to
good.
maintain that energy for Norton,
have to
though.
do shit.
That's right.
That's right. You don't boss Louie
No,
around.
I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Yeah, you do try to.
Yeah.
What are these, from space?
Yeah, they're a little difficult.
Yeah, which side is never mind.
You got it.
Houston.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
How are
Welcome
you?
to the new show, you guys.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
You
Yes.
knocked Opie right out?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was time.
You know, he should have changed that name by then.
Oh, we try to tell him.
I'll try to tell him, but he don't listen.
No one
Yeah.
listens.
No,
Hi,
they
you
don't.
guys. So nice to be here.
Nice to have you,
Yeah,
man.
she seemed to have a tremendous amount of charisma. She really did. And
Yeah.
just she said hello in a way where you just go, yes, hello.
Yeah.
You
Hi.
can't refuse it. Hi.
Hi.
Ron Howard's daughter.
Dude, I was looking at her face, and she's so beautiful, and her hips, like, she has, like, just...
She has movie star hips.
Yeah.
Wow, she's
Yes.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
she has that movie star hip. And I
You know-
mean, just...
If she wasn't married, Jim, you'd be right there.
Do you know, this is...
never stopped Jim before, has it, Jim?
No, but it stops them.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking delusional. I looked her up. I was bummed out to find out she was married. So, yeah, she's 33. I'm 48. That's
Jim.
nice.
if it makes you
You
feel
know,
any better.
33 goes into 48.
Or hopefully vice versa.
Yeah. Well, I was letting you say. I was like a softball pitch, Jim. I'm glad you got it.
Jim, if it makes you feel better, her marital status makes no difference on whether or not she would be with you.
Oh, I don't know if that's true.
I thank you, Louie.
You think Jim's got a shot?
I think Jimmy's always got a shot.
That's
Because
the-
you know, certain people in life want something real.
And Jim's
Jimmy's
real?
Yeah, he's the most real.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I don't know if they
That's
want
true.
that
That's
real.
a true. That's a real. You don't know if you want
that real. That's very real.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, eventually you're going to have to get there.
Yeah.
So the sooner you dive into that, the better. If you could get to that, if people could get to that
Yeah.
in life, people are mostly just sitting around. They're not doing anything.
Nothing.
They're not working hard at what they want to do. They complain about everything. They don't really care about what they're doing. People are. I know. I used to be the worst at that.
Did
But
you do that?
Yeah.
At what point were you the worst complainer?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I was terrible. I had cleared it up this morning. I just want you to know there'll be no complaints out of me. I'm just saying, like, I always had one purpose, though, to be the greatest, stand-up comic ever.
So you always
So I
wanted,
had that purpose.
it wasn't enough to be good. You were competitive about it. You wanted
No,
to be
I
the
wasn't
best.
competitive. I wasn't competing with any other comic, I can tell you that. They were nothing to me. Not in a bad way. I loved them as human beings. But I was trying to beat myself out each time.
Right.
Because that is where all the strength is. I mean, I once worked on a joke for 12 years. So
What was the joke?
I used to do a joke where my mom would drive me and my brother nuts. She'd come out, we'd be watching TV. Kids, she'd stand right in front of her. Kids, what? You're ruining our lives. When you're 12, I didn't even move my lips when I was 12. She goes, what do you think I bought? What do you think I paid for the? No, what she worded it like this. What do you think I got this outfit for? We have no idea how much that outfit would cost. We don't know that. We're 10 and 12.
Right.
We don't know. And I'd go, 900. Louie. And then it would get a little titter. It was a joke that I wanted to do because it was setting up other things.
Sure.
Never got much of a laugh, but it got a laugh always.
Yeah.
I go, that's not the hit joke. That's not the punchline. One time, 12 years later, I kept working on it. It was October. I go, my mom comes in front of us. Kids, what do you think I got this outfit for? Halloween? And
There
killed-
it is.
That was the joke. Because under every good joke is a better joke.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Well, I find under every good joke I tell is a bomb.
Is it true? You mean you'll go to but you have the perfect joke then.
I leave a trail of holes on the way to every decent joke.
So
Let it, Jimmy, in the trail of holes.
What's the worst though is when you shoot something and then you try to fix a joke. Like when you do a joke after you've already shot it, it's dead, and then you improve it. You're like, fuck.
You mean you shot it on tape or something?
Yeah, so you're like, I can't even do that
Thank
joke
you.
anymore. And it's
and you realize that that's the version you wanted on tape, and it's gone.
Yes.
Like, oh,
And
shit.
what does it mean? Does it mean anything in the big picture? Good. This is a really good thing. So if I have a great joke, but it's only necessarily better to me, or are you talking about a joke that isn't as good?
You just find the joke that, and all of a sudden it works better after. Like for some reason, you find the words, you're like, oh, it's better.
But does it matter? Only to you, right?
Yeah, probably only.
Because nobody ever watches a special and goes, except for that 17th joke.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Jimmy
That could have had a
was-
stronger
yeah.
punchline
Yes,
or a
they
little
don't
tag
know.
on the end of that.
They think we're making it up as we're doing it, just so
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
That's what kills me. Do you
Yeah.
just stand up there and do that?
Yeah,
I do.
And they film it and they happen to capture it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one
And
they
it's
went
crazy.
to.
And I was selling cars yesterday, and I said, "Hey," they said, "Will you come in here and shoot this?" I go, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Well, that's like, Newhart did do that. You know,
What?
Bob Newhart, like literally, he had the top 2 comedy albums in the country, the top 2 albums, and he had been doing comedy less than a year. That it's one of the most
I
amazing
love that,
stories, right? That
well,
first
there were
album.
only 7 comics then, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be honest
That's
about
true.
it, right?
And Louie's right. Fuck Bob Newhart. He had no competition.
No, but you even believe that story? I just wonder.
I don't know.
It's just because I go, oh, those albums were strong. Don't you think while he was selling the cars, he was perfecting it with each peer? I don't care if you buy the car, but what do you think of this?
Yeah, maybe
I'm
he
real
was.
low key.
Yeah.
All right, pretend I'm a guy who's going to take you on a driver's test. Isn't that one of them?
So you think maybe he was? Maybe that's an urban legend that's gone a little bit unchecked.
Of
Okay.
course. I lie all the time about how I started and stuff. Because people ask me
Just bring the legend
they ask
up.
these questions. Like, how'd you get started? And I go, oh, my God, have you read anything? Do you know? Have you done any homework whatsoever?
So what do you tell them? What will you make up?
Here's my good one lately. Because it's millennials now.
Yeah.
Or pre-millennials. What is a pre-millennial?
Is that like right before
Generation?
Just like out of school or out of college.
Oh, so it's the new whatever comes after millennial.
Post millennial, you mean?
Yeah.
Post. You said pre, post.
Yeah,
Post
I made the
millennial.
mistake.
Yeah.
Pre, post. Believe me.
Did I post that or did I pre that? Did I pre-post that?
Sometimes not a mistake.
Yeah, never a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, if she's post, it was a mistake. If she's pre, I'm dating her.
Good night, everybody. We'll be here through the week.
So what do you tell them?
So here's my new one. Well, funny you should ask. I do that because that's always, that gives you a little more time. When I was, I guess I might have been 12 or 13, I can't remember, and I was eating Cheerios, and on the back, I said, what is this? Be a stand-up comic. I said, that was crazy. So luckily, my parents would always give me, postage stamps. So I filled the thing out, be a stand-up comic. I want that. I sent it in. I got a little book of jokes, and I tried them out. And I go, this is for me. And they go, wow. And I go, and then I know it's never been printed.
Right.
Because when they give it to the editor, he goes, what? What are you, moron? You asked him that and you believed it? Rice checks is another one I'll try to get in there. I love rice checks. And on the back of the rice checks, because it's more intellectual,
Right.
if you're eating rice checks.
Yeah, you're smarter.
Yeah, you're smarter. It's Dick Cabot's there.
Yeah.
And he's got a pencil. He's twirling it. And I said, oh. And I sent away. And I was glib for 2 years.
That's the giveaway, though. That's the editor goes, you think he was eating fucking rice checks for breakfast.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. What is the what is the mindset of the post-millennial have you encountered? Because people aren't really talking about that yet, are they?
People are so stuck on the millennials.
They are.
They're so mad at them.
They're furious.
Because you don't want, hey, listen, I know that you're in the middle of a thesis, but could I get my coffee? Could I just get? They're
Yeah.
doing. They look right through you. Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
Where they look. I don't mind that you don't care about anything, but don't get a job where I'm going to be in contact with you.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Don't make me feel the ramifications of you not caring.
Don't work in the service industry.
Yes, don't work in the service
You and your
industry.
autism stay in the garage.
Autism in the garage this fall on FFFFX.
By the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
fucking amazing.
It is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is amazing.
It was the nicest treat in the world to, I was sitting there at the Emmys, and you're talking about the Emmys,
Of
right?
course,
Yes.
yeah.
You know,
the whole thing, the
Yeah.
whole success, this whole amazing role. But the Emmy is just, of course.
Sitting there, and Jimmy Kimmel, one of my favorite people's hosting it, and just so funny and sweet. And the game's on, so I know it. Sal's there for Jimmy, cousin Sal, and so it's the Vikings and the Packers. And the Vikings are beating them, and I think to myself, I got a shot. That's what I actually thought, because I'm superstitious. I go, this is good. This is good. And every commercial, there they are, the Vikings, and they're beating them. And I go, yes, beat them. And then Jimmy opened with a Louie joke. He said, who would have thought that Louie Anderson was my new favorite television mom? Right? So I go, ooh, that's another good thing.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
So then I'm the first award. It's the first award, the supporting actor.
Yeah.
And so they read it, and the cameras all go on you. And one walked up on me, from the aisle, and I go,
That's not a bad
So
one.
the
Walking up
cameramen know.
Well, they're all on everybody.
Oh, I never. Okay.
But I didn't, I thought, well, no, I think this is it.
You thought it was just on you.
And you hear Louie Anderson. What's the girl on Blackish? She was so great.
Oh, yeah. It was
Yeah.
Diana Ross's daughter, right?
Is it?
The main actress on
I
that?
had no idea.
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, my
Yes, I
God.
can't remember her first name now, but it's something
Oh.
Ross.
Diana?
Yes.
Diana?
It wasn't Diana.
Okay.
Diana
Betsy?
Ross the second. Yeah.
Jeff?
Wind, rain, mountain,
I don't think it was any of those.
Bob?
yeah. And they read my name, and I went, yes. I was happy.
Yeah.
And that thing you want to do, ha ha.
Just rubbing it in everybody's face.
No, from Simpsons. Who's the guy who does that?
Nelson.
Ha ha. You want to do that to everybody, but you don't. And I was thrilled because I beat out some formidable actors.
What are you thinking as you walk up for
Don't
it?
fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't. Honestly,
Really?
Well, I'm 63. I'm 600 to 700 pounds, and no, I'm a lot less.
You lost
but
30 pounds, right?
I did.
I heard
Thank
that. Good for
thank
you.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm big. I got to get up those stairs. That's what I'm thinking, honestly. And then I'm going, you won, 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 you won.
And how much better is it for this to happen now than like early on? You know what I mean?
It's good always, but it's I don't. You're right. I mean, is it good because I'm 63? Do you know what I mean? Nah, I don't think.
You don't think it's better?
No, people say that.
Yeah.
Isn't it great in the twilight of your years? Shut up! You shut up! I'll beat the shit out of you. Now shut up! You're in the twilight of your years. You're a twinklehead.
I think the one advantage to it being later.
Don't you want to say that? To me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I do not want them assuming anything.
Not
Right.
Twinklehead.
How about?
I wouldn't go that harsh.
I like
but-
to, not Twinklehead, because people wouldn't know what is it. They'd be asking people, "What do you mean by Twinklehead?"
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
good.
yeah. What are they saying? Oh,
Yeah,
how great was it to get this here at the end of your career?
Yeah.
What?
What? I'll straight hand you. But I really do hate that inference that. How about getting the role of a lifetime? Is it?
Right.
I haven't played a man yet. Give me a shot. But no, it is wonderful, and let people say whatever they want because they're gonna let them do that stuff and say all those things and try to be nice to them. But it is wonderful at the time, and and it's always a shock to win. So I'm a project kid.
Right.
I won.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, the thing it shows.
Are they
though,
taking it back after?
there's no linear process. Like there's no. This
Yes.
is the right way to do it because you have guys that win when they're 25, and then here you go, you win when you. There's no way to look at it and go, okay, that's the way to all of a sudden.
Yes, it's true,
do
isn't
that.
it?
Yeah.
It is.
There's no linear.
And you
Right.
know, we were really careful about how we played that. I mean, I was really like conscious of don't be cartoony with this.
Yeah, who's Troy? Was it? Did you go in and decide I'm not going to change my voice? I'm just going to be.
I said to the director, Jonathan Kreisel, who you know who he is, Portlandia.
Yeah.
I know who Sam is.
Nancy.
I know.
Yeah,
Right?
all right.
Being in the
So you
biz.
know Jonathan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sam's not.
I just want to, he's a delightful human. I get there, I'm shooting the pilot under secrecy, Louis C.K. project. Yeah. Nobody can know anything.
Yeah.
And I walk up to Jonathan. I'm in full drag now, which is weird because I never cared to dress in women's clothes. I'd tell you if I did. I wouldn't be ashamed of that.
No, I wouldn't blame you. I've done it. It's okay.
Yeah. And I said to him, I'm not going to change my voice. He goes, yeah, don't. Just like that. That was all. He's so great about it. Because I watched Tambor play Transparent.
Yeah.
And he didn't change himself.
Right.
I mean, he changed himself, but he didn't change himself.
Yeah.
He was, and I went, I'm not going to change myself either. Because I think it could have been, hey, everybody. Hi. It's your mother. No.
Right.
I said, no. I said, I'm going to make Louie Anderson disappear in this part. That's my goal every show.
And it was so funny. The thing that I think you talked to us about it, or Zach had talked about it, was the gulp of water that you almost choke on, and you say how refreshing it was. That was
You know what
such
happened,
a-
right? It was really, I was going to try and chug it. But I hadn't chugged anything since the 70s. Anyways, I haven't, how you think you can do that. When you're young, you can drink a whole bottle of
Sure.
Muscatel. And I'm using such old references. But
Muscatel.
do you know what Muscatel is?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh,
what
you do?
Muscatel
All
is.
right. All right. Well, some acknowledge it, which would be nice.
You're right,
So
Louie.
I can get it. Here it is, right here.
This
There's
is why
some.
it's
Yeah. And so I think I'm going to be able to do it. And right here, 1, 2,
He goes to
3. And he's laughing.
You can see
He's
him. You can
laughing.
see Zach laughing, yeah.
laughing.
I hit the spot.
Yeah. And so it was just an ad lib. He
And
left-
Zach is laughing behind the glass.
Yeah, he's laughing.
I love that they left that.
Yeah, I did. That's what's so great. Look at him. He's dying. He's biting the glass. He cannot believe it. And, that hit the
Awesome,
spot.
Louie. That hit the spot.
And that was the most, so in a sense, yes, I am 63. So I get why people would ask that question because you're 63 to get that part and to win it. Now, if I win it next year, then they can't ask that question.
No.
They can't.
Yeah,
You're 64 now. Did you
Right.
think you could go
Yeah.
63 and 64? This is why sports people get mad at the reporters. You just won the championship. Think you can repeat Monday?
Yeah.
Shut up. I will
Yeah.
put a bag
just-
over your head and choke you.
Let me have my victory.
What did you do that night after you won?
Laid down.
You just laid
So
down.
tired.
Yeah.
No. I went to... cover me with petals. I went to Mr. Chalice.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know Mr. Chalice?
Yes. I've eaten.
It's right in Beverly Hills. If you're going to go somewhere,
Yeah.
it's very old Hollywood.
Who'd you go with?
Abraham, my personal best, greatest. I thanked him in the thing. He's the greatest. We are business partners. We've created a few shows together, and he is somebody who I just love. And he's the guy who always says to me, "You're a mess." One of those people who's
Yeah.
honest with you. Goes,
Sure.
Yeah, it's his birthday. Happy birthday week, Abraham.
So he's got. He's the guy who will tell you what you really need to hear, even if you don't want to hear it, because he cares about you.
But do you like that when people do it?
If they do it a certain way, I do. If they're
Well,
not
yes.
cunty about it, but if someone's telling me something that's genuine,
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
But what if they're cunty about it?
Then it annoys me.
Yeah.
Because
But he's not. But if he was,
It will annoy me if I think somebody is secretly being aggressive about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to tell somebody something because, look, man, I hate you got to fix this. Or if
Yeah.
someone's just being cunty, going, "Hey, stupid."
Yeah,
then
no,
it'll
no,
annoy
no,
me.
no, no,
And they do it under the guise
all out of
just
love
giving
and
you-
care. All
Yeah.
out of people. I'm really lucky. Amos, my manager's out there, because you don't let him in the room. And no, he can sit in there, but he's really a great guy. And he's the same way. He'll tell me stuff, because people care about me. I am a addict. I'm a food addict. And so, people go, so you eat a lot. Yeah, you eat a lot when you're a food addict. You don't get 400 pounds. You don't just,
Right.
just like drugs. You have to work at drugs. Food is different, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's not much. It's not very much the same.
Food and sex are very similar.
Yes, food and sex, both messy. And good night, everybody.
That's true. And you got to wipe your face.
Oh, no, I better stop. Anyway, so you want that in life. You want some people. You want confidants that will just tell you, hey, man, you got to watch it. You got to take care of yourself. You got to do this. You got to do that. So it's a really great ride. This is a great ride.
Do you have people coming out of the woodworks now that this is sort of this is a success and you're a success story of it and all that?
Let's see. I was just getting my photos.
That's true.
Can't get enough good photos, can you?
No, you
I'd like
need
to
'em.
get one.
I guess it's funny out of the woodwork. Yeah, there's those people you just aren't going to contact.
Right.
That contact you. But for the most part, I'm grateful. I think for the most part, people just want to know that you remember that they are there. They don't really necessarily want anything. They just want to be acknowledged. People want to be acknowledged. That's why people, because we minimalize people and we marginalize people. These are the people that are blowing themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that, people who are, when you talk about a serious subject, what affects you more than being blown off in a situation? Like, let's say you walked in here and you were a pretty good comic and we all blew that person off. That would be about as hurtful as it could get.
Yeah, it builds a lot of resentment.
Yeah, and that resentment is, that's trouble.
Yeah.
Resentment will crush a person. And so, I think it's important that I try to be nice to everybody. I really go by my mom's thing. I really go. She says, you never know what kind of day people had. You should be nice to them.
Have you had to go back and make amends to anybody? Like, oh, yeah, I was kind of shitty to that person. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people. Anybody who is an addict, I think the addict behavior lends itself to you go, listen, I was in my food frenzy. And
Can I ask you when you're in one of those, what is it? I don't know what a food frenzy necessarily
it
feels
isn't like that as much. Like I don't have that, but the thing is, it's not just about the food.
Right.
It's about the behavior. So you could be on drugs or you could be on food, you could be on alcohol. And you are, your ego is now in control of your being. The addiction, the ego, I think, feeds that. And so you're dismissive, you're arrogant, all those things. And I try to really work on that. Like I work really hard now every day. I start my day in prayers and meditation, which is really hard because my brain is going. An addict's brain, I think, is going immediately. You get up, you go, all right.
Yeah.
And so what I try to do is quiet that mind, do my prayers, read a prayer book or two. And I center myself. I give myself over to a higher being, in this case, God. And I say, hey, help me get through today and help me, be in your presence and help me not be so anxious to get things going and let you show me some direction and some purpose.
Most of the craziness, too, comes from just being afraid. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I'm afraid of being irrelevant. I'm afraid of all this stuff. And it's like all this anger and crazy stuff that builds up. It's just fear-based
It's
shit.
all fear. It's whatever isn't love is fear, right? I mean, can you grasp that? Because that's a real hard one to grasp. Whatever isn't love is a fear.
Right.
Like I was thinking about, I was on the Kelly show before I came here. And I go, I want that job next to Kelly.
Sure.
But I'm 63.
Sure.
And I'm, 400 pounds. So they're not.
Yeah.
They aren't going, oh, let's keep Louie in the running. Drop him down a few. But, you know what I mean? I'm never in the running for that. So I had to say to myself, well, Lou, you're not in the running for that. And it's because of you, you're not in the running. if you lost 100 pounds and won 2 more awards, no. If you won 4 more awards, then you wouldn't have to lose the weight. So if you would just, no. But I mean, you have to be responsible for what you're in the running for, you know? And so this part came out of, you know, some sort of magical place. This part didn't. This part wasn't like a casting choice.
Right.
This was just Zach and Louie saying, you know, they couldn't find the person they wanted. And he said to Zach, what does it sound like? And Zach made a noise, and Louie said, you mean like Louie Anderson? That sounds like Louie Anderson. He goes, yeah. I guess that, you know, this is the story I get. And he goes, should we call him? And they called me. I mean, I think that's if you believe or not, I believe in that kind of stuff. My mom she nudged somebody that Louie's mom knew, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just believe in that. I want to believe because, you know, it's more comforting to believe.
Yeah.
We have to wrap up. I hate wrapping up, but the show is over.
You know,
yes.
our show is over?
Yes.
No. Well, I love you guys
We'd
so
like
much.
you to come back earlier next time. I know you have TV, but anytime you want to come, you come earlier. So you
We'd
can
love
come.
to have you back in. Yeah.
You know, I get more comments about the show and the stories I tell, and as everybody out there who is really lonely and suffering and not sure yourself, just hang in there. Hang in there.
Great.
That's exactly the opposite message that we normally give. That's very encouraging. That's very helpful.
I love you.
Louie Anderson, the great Louie Anderson, who I love very much.
Season 2 of Baskets premieres Thursday at 10 p.m. on FX.
Yes, the Emmy award-winning Louie Anderson.
How great
Yeah.
is that?
And well-deserved.
Thank you so much.
and-
Thanks for all the support here, you guys.
Of
and
course.
Congratulations, buddy, and we will see you guys tomorrow.